computer. VicSan, the man of the hour, the coolest guy in Boston right now. Ooh,
you think so?
And the only man that I know during the middle of a global pandemic that keeps a fresh lineup. So,
Oh,
that cup is too big for that beer, man.
it was not for one beer, dude. Not a one beer cup, you know.
The man who does not know what junk mail is even for.
No. When it comes to the junk mail, what happened was it didn't refresh. So it was saying like no mail. And then when I double checked it, you know, there I did see the invite. But no, you know, even though that was the case, yes, I did just find out what junk mail really means. Yes.
Bro, what have you been up to, man? Tell us what's been going on. I feel like I haven't seen you in at least 2 months.
2 months, man. You know, I want to start off by saying that, you know, family's great. You know, other than, you know, they're really great right now. Trying to keep everybody very healthy. You know, other than that, what I have been doing, honestly, man,
A whole lot of war zone.
Just staying at home, you know, asking myself a lot of questions, you know, when you are in an environment that, you know, your day to day was, you know, sleep, wake up, work.
Yeah.
Gym, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, to go from that, you know, day to day to just like being home and, you know, just learning more about yourself, you know, doing like all these activities at your house, you know, the first week it was rough, you know, but then, you know, I do like a lot of self-therapy, if you know what that means. Like I do, like I'm always, you know, asking myself questions. And, you know, other than that, like, you know, I just learned so much about myself, you know, staying safe.
That sounds like fun. That sounds like fun, dude.
Just staying safe.
I know you wanted to get in on one of those last podcasts about like when we were talking about like Instagram people who flex on Instagram with their fitness, but they can't even be in the gym, like going after it, bro.
Yeah. So I did see the video. I did see the two gentlemen that you had there. It was very it was a very great conversation, very great debate between you guys. You asked, you know, a lot of awesome questions, but my takeaway from it and what I really think about it, it's more like some people genetically have like good genes and like, you know, like when it comes to like their body physique. Like I know people that, like, for example, I wanted to start off with football players. Like there's this football player that I'm like, you know, very into football, but I didn't know about their life that much. But one thing I found out is that Marshawn Lynch, and I forgot the other name. I think Amendola, they don't lift weight.
Get the fuck out of here.
I kid you not. I was just like, there's no way. There was like, no, they just run laps. You know what I'm saying? They're not like bodybuilders. Like they don't really do their regular, you know, football. This is what I heard. I don't know if I was you know, false informed. And like, if you really look at Marshawn's like body, dude, you could just tell.
That man runs through people.
You could just tell, like he didn't have to work that much. Like his physique is just like that. Now, he took it to football, you know, and when it comes to people on Instagram and stuff like that, you know, they look like they have all this abs and all that stuff, but can they do 10 push-ups though?
Yo, my man was saying he can't even be in the gym doing 10 push-ups.
No. I've witnessed that a lot. I've seen people, you know, I've seen people like outnumbered me as well. You know, I've been to the gym, you know, I'm big and everything.
Yeah.
And then here comes this like regular dude who you know, who wouldn't, you know, who you think he lifts a pencil and he's putting 3 plates. And I'm like, what? Like, you know, what's going on?
This motherfucker about to hurt himself.
Yeah, you know, but that's pretty much like the way I look at it. I feel like, you know, a lot of people in this world are gifted. You know, it just depends how you take advantage of that gift that, you know, that you were born with. You know, a lot of people were born with like good genes and they just have that physique for, you know, they don't have to lift weight. They just could eat healthy.
Yeah, bro, that's me. I'm strong all the time.
Exactly. Remember that time you told me, and I believe it, you know, like, you know, obviously obviously in front of everybody, I'm not gonna be like, yeah, of course, but like, yo, Vic, I'll beat you. You're like, Vic, I'll beat you in an arm wrestle. I'm like, well, yeah, right, but deep down. But I just couldn't say that in front of all the girls, you know.
So, bro, the big question is, when we going to DR, man?
Well, you know, we did. Well, technically, Rashard speaking, I'm supposed to be coming back from Dominican Republic right now.
What do you mean?
Yo, if none of this pandemic stuff happened, if
we
none
would
of this
be.
happened,
Oh yeah,
I'm supposed to be coming back right now.
That's true. That's true. When are we going though?
Well, the best times to go to DR is literally 365 days. It doesn't matter what. There is literally no, oh, you should go on this holiday. You should go on this day. It doesn't matter when you go. It's always fun. It's always fun. Now, when can we go? And, you know, that I would love to come with a friend that way he could have the good experience. Literally, bro, it really doesn't matter. But I would choose either New Year's or Christmas.
New Year's or Christmas, that's the time. Because here's the thing, like, I think even for me and a lot of people out there, like when I think about the DR, I think about, you know, what I hear from resorts.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think about like baseball. So there's there's two different things.
It goes like this, man. Let me break both of them down for you. And it goes like this. If you don't like study and stuff like that, you literally, you know, be like going around thinking that Dominican made baseball. That's how much we love baseball. Like, I thought that we created baseball. Like, when I found out, when I was a kid, this is a true story. When I found out that there are Mexican, Cubans, Colombian, Puerto Rican, and a baseball, I'm like, wait a minute, I thought these fuckers were all like, I'm not joking. Like, I would just, like, I would see, like, I thought it was literally America, and every Spanish person that was there was Dominican. That's how much love Dominican people have for baseball. Like, it's insane.
Absolutely.
Like, you start off playing baseball with, not even joking. So, you know those big blue bottles, like those big blue water bottles that you put on the fridge, on those.
Yeah.
So the cap of that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it in English, but it's called una vitilla. That's what we call it, right?
Yeah.
And the way you start off playing baseball as a child is you grab one of those caps, right?
Yeah.
And now you just don't play with one. You got to have like at least 10. So you're you know, 10. You feel me?
Yeah.
And you know, the person who always had those things was always that one rich kid in the block. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody got that water, you know? So obviously and automatically this kid was allowed to play. Yeah. You're good to go.
Yeah.
And, you know, it wasn't a regular bat. It had to be a broomstick.
Of course.
Okay? So this is how you play vitilla. Okay, so you grab one of those, the cap, right? It will be like this big. Now with those things, this is where you learn how to throw your curveballs. Like, I don't know, man. These kids were like, they would throw have you ever seen that episode of Bugs Bunny when he's playing by himself?
No.
He throws the ball so slow, and everybody's like,
mm-hmm.
They could do that. They could like make this thing like go fast and just float at the end, and you're like, I've seen it with my eyes. I've seen it with my eyes. Got too hot here.
Oh, you gotta turn on the fan.
Oh yeah, and so once, let's say, you know, you get pitched. Once you hit it, right? The way you score is once you hit it, if you pass like a certain line, it's considered a home run because it's really hard to hit that thing. And the way you get striked out, another way to get out, if let's say the pitcher or somebody, right? When the little thing is rolling on the ground, if they pick it up while it's moving, it's an out.
Yeah.
But if they pick it up, they drop it, you're still safe, right? And that's a score.
Oh, that's
or
a what?
If it's rolling and it stopped, it's a score. So
hold on. So if you pick it up and you
while it's moving,
you You score what?
Okay, so let's say you're pitching to me, right?
Yeah. Explain it.
Once I hit it, if it's rolling on the ground, right, and you pick it up, that's an out.
Okay.
If it's in the air, you catch it, it's an out. Now, if it's rolling on the ground, right, and it stops rolling, like it stops moving, you're safe.
Okay. Now, are there bases involved?
Well, you could play, with bases. You know what I'm trying to say? You could play with bases, but the thing is, like, it's a cat bottle, so you can't really throw it to the first base. You know? So dude, the rule is if it's moving, you pick it up right away.
Yeah. Dude, that's some crazy.
But it's very, very, very fun. Extremely fun.
Oh, we have to do that at some point.
My God. The thing is, you don't play these with adults. You got to play this with little kids, man. I'm very serious. I'm very serious.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm like, my first baseball experience was with like a glove, a ball, and a bat.
Yeah.
Like, that's my first baseball experience. I can only imagine that, you get this little cap and you're trying to learn how to hit a ball with it. That's amazing.
Oh yeah. Oh no, but you find so much accuracy and so much connection with.
Dude, we gotta go down. When we go down there, I would definitely love to go see a baseball game in DR to compare like Dominican culture of baseball to American, because I've seen some videos of like DR, Venezuela. I don't think I've seen one for Cuba yet, but the craziest thing about it is like you see these people at baseball games and they bring the same intensity that you would see at like a soccer game. Like music going, band playing, people going crazy, crowds chanting. And then we over here, like, have you been to a Red Sox game recently?
I have. Not recently, but I have. I think it was David Ortiz last season.
Dude, you think about it here and we're just sitting down and we're cheering and we're, let's go Red Sox, or in my case, let's go Blue Jays. Right?
Yes.
And we're like, oh, this is the greatest cheer ever. Let's start doing the wave. And then you watch like Dominican baseball, and these people are out here singing songs and.
No, they're starting right. I've seen it. Now, if you want to go to one of those games, I actually got a couple cousins and friends that still play like that. Mm-hmm. It's not like of course, it's not like a big league. Can give you like that much information, but they do have their uniforms, right?
Yeah. And
they play like regular baseball. Now, how they get paid? They get paid with the crowd. Sometimes the crowd give them 100 pesos, which is like $2 or stuff like that. But that's one person. You feel me? We're talking about a whole crowd. If you play good, you steal base, you get paid for that.
Oh wow!
Well, you don't get paid, but the crowd pick. Yeah, if you give yourself a good show, if you're a great pitcher, dude, you're leaving there with like at least 10,000 pesos, which is like 50. I can't do the math, but just like 50, something like a good amount of like money. You know what I'm trying to say?
Can you imagine if North American sports, like here in the United States and Canada, if we paid our players based on their performance for the night? Just going up to play.
Yeah, like I asked myself the same way. I'm like,
I'm gonna give you $20.
Seriously, like let's say if you're one of those players that are always slamming home runs. Mm-hmm. The crowd will literally give you, let's say here in American dollar, they'll give you, your $20. Like, oh, it's $20 for that, home run,
Yeah.
And it's just money. It's just everybody they do it for fun. That's the thing. It's just the beauty of it is that they just have so much fun.
Well, I remember I had my Spanish professor in school I had a Spanish professor who substituted in for a little bit, and he was from Cuba. Great guy. But what he was telling me was that when he moved from Cuba to Canada and he went to a Blue Jays game for the first time, the one thing that he was asking his friend who brought him was like, well, where's that player from? And he's like, well, that player's from Minnesota. Okay, well, that's player from. That one's from Dominican Republic. And that one's from Texas. And that one's from here. And that one's from there. And he was so shocked because in Cuba, most players on a team are from the area. They don't have players from all over. So you'll never see a player from this part of Cuba playing for a team that's on the other side.
Yeah. Exactly.
Same thing in DR?
Same thing in DR, yeah. So actually the first time I actually went to the baseball game, to the one that we were just talking about, the last season of Big Papi of David Ortiz.
Yeah.
I actually went with an ex-baseball player.
Okay.
And he used to play for Minnesota, actually.
Oh, that's cool.
Even joking, but today he became a barber.
Okay.
And what happened was he got injured.
Oh,
he was trying. So how was his story? I'll put it brief for you. He was just a kid, just like that. How I mentioned, he was a kid that was playing with those little things. You know what I'm trying to say? And he started off, slamming rocks. Sometimes the coaches, so I know kids. I kid you not. I know kids that will literally drop out of like school. Doesn't matter what type of thing. They will never even go to school and just think baseball. Just baseball. That's what their parents just pushing. Baseball, baseball, baseball.
Yeah.
And
it's a big part of Dominican culture, man.
Oh yeah, no, it's baseball, yo. It's crazy. And he was playing for a league over there. I forgot what it was in Dominican Republic. And then a coach, this is what he told me, then a coach from the United States went over there and started like seeing how they all were playing. He saw a couple games, right? And out of, I think, 250 kids, maybe 300, out of the top 100, he was one of them. And then he got signed by Minnesota. I think this is what he told me. He said that, his first contract was like a good 80, 50, I don't know. I can't give you a number.
Yeah.
But then he got injured. He pretty much lost all that time dedicated, and he just became a barber.
Well, I mean,
my barber. Yeah, I swear to God.
That stupid ass cup is it, ladies and gentlemen, as he brings this crazy cup. This is one of the late night shows, dude. I think it's amazing because when we watch baseball today and you see it, it's a lot of kids from DR, Puerto Rico, Panama, so Cuba, definitely, Venezuela, big culture, and
Venezuela, especially Venezuela, they're big now on baseball. Especially, like I said, I can't give you those information because I don't know how it was before I was born. But we're talking about recently. We're talking 5-10 years ago.
Yeah.
No, not even 5. We're talking about 10, 15 years ago. Rashard, I kid you not. I thought every Spanish player. I thought he was Dominican. My uncle would be like, "Oh, let's go. He's from Venezuela." I'm like, "What?" And then and then when they did the whole, I think they do it every 3-4 years. I don't know, I'm not really, where they pick, Team Dominican, Team Puerto Rico.
Oh, the World Baseball Classic.
We went undefeated.
Yeah,
we
I
went
remember
undefeated, and I was just like.
Well, I got my little homage to Dominican baseball with Jose Bautista back here. I don't remember. I think he's from. I don't know where he's from, to be honest.
He's from Venezuela.
No, he's Dominican.
No. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
I can't remember where in Dominican Republic he's from.
No. I got the wrong. There was I can't think of his name right now.
Yeah, we'll move past it. We'll continue.
Yeah, I can't think of his name right now, but he's oh my God.
But yeah, dude, it is amazing, and I would love to be there and see what Dominican baseball culture is like, because it's had such a big impact on how I receive the sport. I love baseball, and at one point in baseball, and every Blue Jays fan who is watching this is gonna be reminded of it. Yo, we signed 9 Dominican players at one time, and I was just and this is my greatest thing about Dominicans, and why I love Dominicans and their culture so much, is that I didn't know that there were Dominicans in Toronto. I didn't know. And then every single time we played, I remember the first game, because we had about 9 Dominicans, and I remember going to a game and thinking, there's all these Dominican flags everywhere
in Toronto.
And I don't know any of these people.
And they're all talking to you in Spanish, thinking whoa, papa.
Well, I told you that story about how when I went to Mexico. Yeah, when I was in Cancun and I was hanging out with my 4 friends. Two guys are Italian, one guy's Portuguese, and I'm the one who they start speaking Spanish to. So it's like, first you guys, here, do you want to go to this nightclub? Do you want to go to this nightclub? Pop up. I got a spot for you, man. And he starts like going off in like Spanish, and I'm just looking at him like, yeah, bro, I'm sorry, I didn't.
Yeah, I don't understand it. But you know what's the funny thing, which I have encountered numerous times. See, the beauty about being Dominican.
Yeah.
That I'm saying it, I'm expressing this way because I am Dominican myself. Is you don't know what we could look like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We are a mix of everything. You know, like a lot of people know I'm Dominican just because like once I start talking.
Well, like, you guys have different slang. Like you guys are different.
No. We are mixed. You know, we got David Ortiz that you see his skin color. You know what I'm saying? If he doesn't speak, if he doesn't say nothing, you would think he's you know, even though us Dominicans we are black, but like you would think he's like we like Dominican. No way. You know, I got other friends. Oh my god, like they're very pale. You know what I'm trying to say? And I'm like, you Dominican? They're like, yeah, but I'm from the north side.
Yeah.
You know, I'm from the south side. We're mixed. You know, it's a beauty. Another culture that has that too. It's Puerto Rico. When I went to Puerto Rico, I'm like, dude, I feel like I'm in DR. Just paying
well, that happened to me when I first moved to Boston, man. Like when I first moved to Boston, I remember meeting people and they looked at me and they started speaking Spanish and I didn't know what's going on. And they're like, are you not Dominican?
What are you doing? What are you doing?
And I didn't. And the craziest thing is like to go up to a Dominican and not speak Spanish. And they look at you with such disappointment, like I've abandoned my own culture.
That's what they do.
Like I felt like, even though I'm not Dominican, I felt like I let the Dominican population down by not speaking Spanish because everyone was starting to speak Spanish to me, and I'm like, and then, oh, you don't speak Spanish? No, but you're Spanish? No. What do you mean you're not? I've never had someone tell me, what do you mean you're not Spanish? And then think about it like, wait, am I? No, I'm pretty sure I'm not.
You confused for a minute. Like, wait, whoa.
But like, so tell the people who are listening to this, who are planning out a vacation, and obviously Dominican Republic is always one of those places that people want to go. What are some of the great places to go if I'm trying to go off the resort? Like obviously there's great resorts in the country, but what are the places that people who are going need to visit?
You know, DR, you know, the Earth is a sphere, right? Dominican Republic is literally like a period on the map. Like it's like you zoom out, and can I tell you something? That whole, like the whole Dominican Republic. If I myself as a Dominican can't tell you, like you should go this spot because every time I come back, there's always a friend like, hey, did you visit this part? And I'm like, what? I was there for 2 weeks. Like, you know, but with my experience, I am from Dominican Republic, but I was born in Bani. Bani is like the south side of Dominican Republic that is 45 minutes away from the capital of Bani, which is called Santo Domingo. Now, myself, my friend, I've never been to the north side.
Just don't. What do you mean you've never been to the north side? You're on the north side podcast right now.
I've never been to the north. I've never been to the north side. Now, what I can tell you about the south side is we have very terrestrial beach, which they call it Boca Chica. You know, we like there. Hold on, give me a second. You know, that spot right there. We're talking about it's a beach club. It's like a little bit of, it's a buffet. It's everything. This beach, I promise you, like I kid you not, this isn't like near Santo Domingo, so we're not even talking about Bani yet. We're talking about where you go like a mile away and the water's probably still up to your chest. No, I want to say a mile, but probably like a quarter of a mile. And you can still see your feet. That's how clear the water, and it's not like super cold.
Yeah.
If you look to your left, like when you, let's say you walk on a beach, if you look, let's say, you know, you're me right now. You look to your left, and there's this guy that's selling like fried fish. You know, you look to your right, and they have like this car right here with a bunch of music, and there's no time. There's no like, oh, like this car's gonna be here from 10 to 2. No, it's until he gets tired. No. There's no limit in Dominican Republic. I kid you not. There is no limit. Now, this is Boca Chica. This is the capital. I personally don't like it because it's too much commotion. It's like I would compare Santo Domingo, the capital, like New York. It's too much going on.
Yeah.
I'm more of a, you know, relax. I like my quiet, you know, I like to party and stuff like that. So this is where you have to go. It's to Bani City.
Yeah.
If you like mango, we're
mango.
known for our mango. Like we know for like mangoes. Oh my God. Then you go, you keep on going down a little bit more south, and we have a beach called Salina. Now Salina is where they where they make, Salina's just like a big beach, and they make salt. Like they have this whole thing. They have like literally mountains of salt, and that's where you people salt, dude. Like it's insane.
Well, the craziest thing is like when you go to another country and you get to experience what they do. When I went to Mexico for the first time, I was in Cancun, and everybody was going to the restaurants and eating there, and I kept on going to like little street food, like the same way we have like street meat.
Oh my God, that's what you got to do.
Dude, I had the greatest meal. I don't know what the hell it was, but she took like onion. She dipped the onion in oil, used the onion to like oil up a pan, and then she put a tortilla in there, and then she did her thing with the tortilla, gave it to me. I ate it, and I was just like, this is heaven.
Like, what the fuck is going on?
This is the simple, and I think the biggest thing that we don't realize as people is that there's such a simplicity to other cultures that is great.
All right. Okay, so it goes like this. Let me tell you a little bit story about myself. That way, maybe you could get like some idea.
Yeah.
I was born in Bani, but I came here when I was very little. You know? When I came here, I came into Newark, New Jersey. Newark, New Jersey. Yes, this is where my family started living. This is the first time I landed in America when I was 3-4 years old, around there.
Yeah.
Newark. It was New York. I'm so sorry. New York. It was the Bronx. I lived there for 6 months.
We have 2 different states now.
Yeah, I know. When I came here, I came to New York. I remember. Then my grandma moved to New Jersey, and I was living in New Jersey at the time, right?
Yeah.
I went back to Dominican Republic to visit because I don't remember. I was 3 years old. I came here.
Yeah, you're a child.
I was a baby. When I went back to Dominican Republic, I was like 8 years old. And this is, I couldn't do much, but, I started loving the culture. I was like, wow, like, look at this, like, look at that, like, look at this, And then afterwards, what I'm trying to say is, like, I was pretty much in an American environment. I didn't really need it much.
Yeah.
I was very, I want to say confused. But when I was, when I came here in New Jersey, I didn't really need much. If I wanted to go outside, you don't heat, every street, all the streets are nice.
Yeah.
So when I went back to Dominican Republic, dude, mosquitoes are like this big.
Dude, when I go back to the,
and I'm over here like, yo, bro.
Well, I'll tell you this. When I go back to the islands, so you see different animals here. Like I see a lizard in Boston, or I actually haven't seen a lizard in Boston, but I've seen a lizard in Toronto, and they're like this big. They're like this big. And then you go to the Caribbean, and the lizards are like this big.
Dude,
like, what are these things eating? What are these things eating right now?
I know. So Rashard, I go back and I'm seeing. So when it comes to my family, I actually have a poor family and a rich family. Mm-hmm. Honest to God. My grandfather actually, when you go to Las Americas, which is the name of the airport in Santo Domingo when you land. So when you're going down the rails, my grandfather, Victor Harris, he's the one that created all that. So this is, back in, I don't know what year. We're talking about like maybe 1985, 1995. I can't give you an exact year. But my grandfather created that. They made a lot of money. Boom. Whatever. But again, when I go back, right? I visit the poor family.
Yeah.
Right? Now, the poor family are, there's a bunch of dirt. There's a bunch of, I don't know. There's just a lot of commotion going on. You're talking about like, too much going on. I'm like, like, how can you guys, but this is your daily life.
Yeah.
Yo, give me this, give me that. The days are long there. Like I took 2 naps and it was still 5 o'clock. Like I was like, Jesus Christ. Right now, this is the poor family, which I'm gonna go back to it in a second. Right now, I go to the rich family, which is Victor Harris, my grandfather, and they're all so nice and proper. They have like this what can I say? They have like a worker, like that works around the house, that cleans the house. My grandmother has a jacuzzi. How fucking rich you have to be to have a jacuzzi in Dominican Republic?
I don't know.
A fucking jacuzzi, bro. She never used it. She just had it. And when I'm there, it felt like I was still here in America. I didn't feel like, that much of a culture.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm getting at, right?
Yeah.
Years pass by, now I'm like, 14, 15, and I get to go back to Dominican Republic. I'm in the rich side, now, my mentality is different.
Yeah.
And I am, I'm bored at the rich people's house. I'm bored at my grandfather's house because it's just too proper. I don't want you to go out. I don't like it. So then I think it was my mom. She came and visit, and we went to the poor side.
Mm-hmm.
Dude. This is where the VicSan started. This is where VicSan started. This is where VicSan
so for the people that don't know, is that there is Victor Sanchez, astute worker, gentleman, and then there's VicSan,
which is the guy.
Which is the guy.
The guy.
It is like the double thumbs up or double thumbs up plus guns guy.
I love that. So listen, when I go back to the to the poor people family, I'm used to sleeping AC.
Yeah.
It's freaking hot in DR. And I'm used to sleeping with an AC. I'm used to sleeping, I'm used to like eating very proper, rich people, man.
Yeah, I've burped into the microphone twice, so I apologize to anybody who's had to hear that. It sucks. Go ahead.
But then now, this is the beauty that I learned about, being poor.
Mm-hmm.
Is that I come from America, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a traveler, dude. Like you know what I'm saying? When you travel, well, I don't know now it's not the same, but before, when you travel, everybody looks at you like, wow, like look at this god, like he came from America. By the way, even though I'm from Boston, to them it's New York. You can live in Cincinnati. What part of New York are you from, bro? Doesn't matter.
Well,
I think from New York.
I think when you talk about cultures like that, when you go back to the wherever you're from in the Caribbean, they always associate you with major cities. So if I
no, dude. Boston for Dominican Republic got discovered like 5 years ago. I think somebody was there with like, no, like he argued. No, I'm from Boston. no, Boston. Then,
I will say, Big Papi definitely gave Boston Dominicans an identity.
Yes. It was because of Big Papi.
David Ortiz.
Like Big Papi never. No, sorry, not Big Papi. Let's take it a little way back. Pedro Martinez.
Way back. Pedro. Oh my God.
Pedro Martinez and Manny Ramirez.
Dude, did you know that Manny Ramirez does not like to spend money?
I bet.
He doesn't like to spend money.
That's why he's never cut his hair. I get it.
So let me ask you this. Let me go ahead.
No, I'm about to finish. I'm gonna wrap it up real quick with the culture.
Uh-huh.
So now I go back to this poor people family, right?
Yeah.
Which is they're my family. The poor side of it. Now, what I didn't know is when I was speaking before, is I'm used to like, there was 24/7 light, energy, power.
Mm.
In the poor people side, dude, if the lights, you could be watching Tom and Jerry, bro. As soon as that TV shuts off,
Tom and Jerry.
Yo, you got to get out the house and do something because there's no light, there's no power.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? And I'm thinking to myself, well, like, dude, there's no power. Like, what were you going to do? Oh, my God, this is when everybody gets together. This is where I found what being humble really means.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, we're talking about, like, there's no power. The only thing that's giving us light right now, Rashard, I swear on everything I love is the moon and the stars. Nothing else. Like, nothing else. There's nothing else giving us light. The moon and the stars. And I see some dude grab, like, a rock. This dude comes with another rock. A little kid brings wood, and they bring a big pot.
Uh-huh.
They throw everything in there, rice, chicken, whatever they find. You see that little lizard we were talking about? They throw that in there too. And then, now there's a fire in the middle, man, and we have the whole village, like the whole people like around us, our neighbors, telling stories, man, about like, and I'm just like, wow, like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I come from America.
Yeah.
I'm saying this kid doesn't even have shoes on, and he's happier than me. And I'm just telling myself, like, what am I doing wrong? And it's not, it's just like I literally learned, like, that was the beauty that, part that I learned from my culture.
Well, the thing about that I've taken away is it's like a lot of us think that having things is what leads to happiness, and that you can have a little child with little to nothing in another country that is happier than you are. So, materials don't determine what makes you happy. But I gotta ask you this, man. Like, so you have some of the greatest stories I've ever heard about. Like, so for the people who are watching this right now, I've learned Spanish, but I learned Spanish from a Spaniard. Right. So when I moved from Canada to America, I came in here thinking, oh yeah, I'm the greatest. I got a year or so of Spanish under my belt. I learned from a Spaniard. That's where the language comes from. And then I come into America and I'm listening to people talk to me in Spanish and I am lost. And you have some of the greatest stories about what it is like to be Dominican and speaking Spanish. And I think listen, every time you tell this story, I love it. I laugh my ass off.
I kid you not, man. We speak Spanish in cursive. Like, I don't even know. Like, that's a true story. Just like that, the same thing. Like, when I went back to Dominican Republic, that I came back here in 2008 and 2009. I told myself, like, yo, you get to choose your classes, and I had a choice between French, like to learn French, or Spanish. I told myself, why don't I just take Spanish? It's gonna be easy. Dude, when my report card came back, right? My girlfriend at the time, she's looking at me. She's like, "How the fuck did you fail Spanish?" And I was like, "It's not the same." And one of the first sentences, you have the fill the space.
Yeah.
And then there's a picture of a tiger.
Uh-huh.
And I put my uncle's name on it. And everybody's like, what the fuck? What were you putting? It was like, because that's how we called each other. Kind of get me thinking it. Like, you would never, like, I don't know. The thing is, like, every month there's a new word.
Uh-huh. Every
month there's a new word.
Yeah.
It's so crazy that I even have to ask my mom, "Your mom, what does macula mean?" And my mom goes back to the 1980s. She goes, "Vic, they're using that word now? Call you a bitch? Like, do you even know what that means?" I was like, no. Hey, listen, man. Like, honestly, like, I don't even know how to explain it, but I understand my Dominican friends. Yeah. And it's like if they want to get a point A to point B, they will get it.
Yeah.
But they also have to explain to you what they mean, if you know what I'm trying to say. So, like, let's say he'll give you the address. Like, a Dominican person will give you the address. Yeah. Right? But then you're going to ask, like, I know how to get there now. Now I want you to tell me what does that mean? This means, and what is that even a word? Hey, listen, man, I kid you not. Yo, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I've met a lot of people, and you know how crazy it is to like flirt with a Spanish girl that is not Dominican. You know how hard that is.
I don't know.
They don't understand my lingo. They be like, okay, so for us, which I know you know the word ahorita.
Yeah.
Ahorita means later.
Yeah.
For us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When I'm talking to, you know, somebody from South America, Central America, even from Spain.
Yeah.
They were like, yo lo voy a hacer ahorita. I'm like, yo, let's do this right now. They were like, no, ahorita means now for us. And I'm just like, oh, I don't know. Like every time I'm talking to somebody that is not Dominican, I literally have to take a course. I kid you not, it's just too much to process.
Dude, now, it was the same thing for me. It was the same thing for me.
What is the nearest, like, other, I feel like, you know, Caribbean that I could understand is Puerto Rico. Like, I could, because we're neighbors, you know?
Yeah.
That's the only Spanish that I would not get confused. But I'm talking to, you know, somebody that's from Mexico, somebody that is from Spain, Argentina. We're lost. We don't even know what's going on right now.
Well, Argentinians, they do that thing where they jo, right? Pollo.
Like vosotros and stuff like that. Yeah, we don't use that. We don't. When I found
that's what I learned.
When I saw that on my textbook, I'm like, what the hell? I'm like,
this is not Spanish.
I'm raising my hand in Spanish class. So the teacher, she's like, yeah, go ahead, go to the bathroom. I'm like, no, I actually got a question. Because, you know, I never raised my hand. And she was like, what's going on? I was like, what does vosotros means? And she was like,
what?
And she acted like this other, like, white kid. She was like, can you explain to Victor what? I'm like, she was like, oh, confused.
Can someone explain to Victor Sanchez what vosotros means?
Yeah.
And that's another thing is like, so when I learned Spanish, all of a sudden all my V's became B's.
Yeah.
And then every time I see, you know, so you interact with people who speak Spanish, they see two L's beside each other. It's a yo, like pollo. But
pollo,
if you're Dominican, you're Argentinian, it's pollo.
Well, we don't know. We say pollo. We don't say yo.
So yeah, and
I think it's
Argentinians and Spaniards.
People from Argentina use that.
So I'm sitting down and same thing. I've had Spanish classes, and then I come to America, which is, you know, full of Spanish speaking people, and I've never felt like I didn't know Spanish.
I feel like you wasted your time.
Yeah. I'm coming into this country with all kinds of Spanish knowledge, ready to advance it, ready to speak Spanish with people. And I'm sitting down and I'm looking at people and I'm like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck you guys are saying.
It happens, man. It happens.
I love my favorite story so you got to tell the story about a guy watching.
Oh no, man. I could go for days, but it goes like this. There are words. Okay, so I just hope you know this.
Uh-huh.
For the people that are watching this too. I don't know the full Dominican lingo, but I have a lot of stories with them.
Yeah.
And we're talking about that, you know, I'm 20 plus years now. And there's words that I'm finding out now that I heard when I was 8. And I was like, that's what it really means? I was like, no way. I was like, no way. I was like, no way. So it goes like this. Let me keep it very brief. If you don't dance as a Dominican, are you Dominican? Like, are you? If you don't know how to dance bachata, like, come on now, dude. You got to represent your culture. You got to dance that bachata, that merengue. You need to know these things. So I've been dancing since I was like 5 years old. Dude, we're talking about like my uncle. Like we're talking about like he was like, no, dude, you're gonna come out as a dancer. I don't want you to be un pariguayo.
Mm-hmm.
You heard that word, right? Pariguayo. Yeah. Now, I never asked what the definition of pariguayo is. You know what I'm saying? We just assume what it is. Like, you know, you're a bitch. Nobody, it goes like this. Nobody told me that this word, Rashard, is not in the dictionary. But let's say we're at a party and the girl's looking at you.
Uh-huh.
And I'll hit you real quick. Yo, go dance with her real quick. You're like, nah, I can't do it. I'm like, come on, man. I'm pariguayo, man. Come on, man. Well, what I found out, Rashard, 20 years later, is that the word pariguayo, guess where it started? This word started when the American soldiers used to go to Dominican Republic, right? And Dominicans, they would be cooking, whatever, and stuff like that, and the woman would be dancing in the middle, right?
Yep.
And the soldiers that did not dance with these women, they were called party watchers. I'm gonna leave it right there. So I'm just telling myself this whole time. I'm like, so you telling me que un pariguayo is a party watcher? Yeah. I was like, yeah. And, so, then I started digging more. And I was just like, all right, well, life goes on. I could have lived without not knowing that.
Yeah.
I feel like, life would have still been great. But now that I know that, I need to figure out if I'm even speaking Spanish right now. Like, I need to know what's going on because I'm very confused.
Listen, man, I feel the same way. I came in, like I said, I'm listening to Puerto Rican speak, and one of my Puerto Rican friends, he's like, yo, que se hora? I'm like, what does that mean?
Que se joda.
Yeah, and he's like, yo, that means fuck it. And I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure? Because that's not what I think it means. Let me look through this dictionary and.
No, but life goes on, and I'm back on vacation, and I go back to my grandma's house, the rich. And when she's about to go for vacation, whatever, she hires security.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, all right, who are you gonna hire? Oh, Guachiman. And I'm just like, all right, whatever. I don't know why they call it like that. Like, I don't know. I was just like, But then I turn around. I was like, but it wasn't watching man. Like, what is that? Like, watching man. Like, what is that? She goes, security guard, somebody that looks. And I'm like, watching man? I was like, you security watching man right now? I'm like, no way. No way. I was just like, no way. I was like, this can't be. That's a security watching man. And I would just like again, life could, life just been the opposite for me. And I'm just like, I'm never saying that in my life. You do.
Well, I think it's very interesting that, as a person.
The thing is, they put two words in one. Like, it just.
As someone who learned Spanish from a Spaniard, right? And then to meet Spanish-speaking people from all over South America. And then to realize that what I learned from that Spaniard does not apply. It doesn't apply at all. At all. Like, if you are like me and you're watching this episode and you learn Spanish from a Spaniard, take everything that you've learned, put it into a ball and throw it as far as possible as you can, because it doesn't apply.
Yeah.
It doesn't apply.
I really.
The basis of Spanish, yes. Like, a lot of the basic Spanish stuff, it does cross over. But the rest of it doesn't.
But, I also read some statistic, which I could agree on, but that Dominican Republic has one of the worst education in the Spanish-speaking community.
Wow.
And I agree.
Well, they say that, and some of my Colombian friends who are going to hear this are going to love that I'm saying this, but they say that Colombian Spanish is the best Spanish to learn, or if you are one of the people who are learning Spanish, a Colombian is the best person to practice with.
I would highly agree, because if you learn Spanish with me, and then and I throw you to the street, dude, you're gonna be so confused. Like, everybody else is gonna be red. The only thing you're gonna see in blue is just Dominicans. I can speak with him. Yo, bro, okay, man, call him, bro. Like, it's just. But I could agree. I feel like any other culture, and I'm speaking on Dominican behalf. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, some people are gonna agree, some people are gonna disagree, and I could go all day.
I love Dominicans, man. I love them. I love Dominicans because of how they listen. For everybody that's watching this, I will say this. If you ever get to hang out with Dominican people in their country, I haven't done it, but I've hung out with Dominican peoples in Boston. You'll never have a greater time.
So now we smoke hookah now.
Yeah.
The party doesn't end until there's no more charcoal, just so you know that.
Well,
it could be 8 a.m. This is all you're gonna see. Yo, make another one. Maybe and they could go on for days, man. And sometimes I tell myself, like, sometimes I'll be drinking. It'll be like 4 a.m. I'm like wide awake, and I'm just like, what am I doing? I'm Dominican. Forgot. Like, it didn't click.
Well, I mean, listen, it's a great. I think a lot of people who have been to the Dominican Republic have only gone to there on resorts, and I think that
we were supposed to talk about that.
Yeah, I think if a lot of people left the city, they get to see the Dominican culture for what it is. Because if you're only on the resort, you get this, I want to say, Americanized version of what the country is like, but you'll never get to truly experience what Dominican culture is like. And I love that you're doing this with me, because now some of the people who are watching this get to say, oh, that's what to expect from going to Dominican Republic.
Yeah, I actually have a story like that. One of my very, very good friends, which is, he's actually the co-owner of Lavish Living, which was the brand that I modeled, that I promoted, all that stuff. RJ, I've known RJ since 6th grade.
Yeah.
Very down to earth dude, man. God bless this guy. Been one of my bestest friends since forever. Now, we started. Me and him, we always talk all the time. Text each other like, yo, listen, what's going on? Forever. And then he told me, hey, listen, one time we came into an agreement. I was like, yo, listen, why don't I go? Because he's from Ireland. You know what I'm saying? And I told him, like, why don't we go to Ireland, right? And you go to Dominican Republic. I want you to see my culture. And I'll go see yours. The bad thing that I did was let him pick the trip. Because if it was for me, we would have gone to Bani.
Yeah. But
no, instead we went to Punta Cana, which Punta Cana is very known for their resorts. We got the Hard Rock Cafe, and it goes on and goes on and goes on. Now, what I didn't know is that this guy booked a 5-star resort. Those are fun, but not that fun. But, everybody wants to still have the experience. So what I'm trying to say, all the bitches are not there. Okay.
Well, that's the thing. If every time you go to a country, no matter which country it is, if you go to a 5-star hotel, you're not gonna experience the country and its culture.
So me and him, we went to this resort in Dominican Republic. I think it's called Costa Azul. I can't tell you what the name of it, but it was near the Hard Rock Cafe. And when we went there, oh my God, he fell in love with the weather. He fell in love with the sand. He fell in love with the food, And
was it Dominican food is the question.
And I was just like, bro, this is not like real Dominican, Republic. Just hope you know that. And I'm like, we're having fun and all that stuff, but there's not a Dominican on site right now, because if you look at this guy, he's from Italy. This girl just came vacation from Germany. This girl's from California. I'm like, this is not Dominican Republic. Just hope you know that. So his experience with the Dominican Republic, because of what he said, I don't know if I would go back to Dominican Republic. So I was like, all right, I respect it. I respected you when you visited my island, which I really appreciated. Then when I went to Dominican Republic on December 28th.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, he was like, yeah, what was this at? I was just like, this is the real Dominican Republic.
Well, it speaks volumes to the concept that when we go
now he wants to
vacation,
now he wants to go again. And he goes, yo, I want to go where you was at. He goes, yeah, where you was at. He said, what is that? I was like, dude, this is a river with a club in it. What? Yeah. Stop. It's not. I'm not joking. It's a river with a club in it. Oh, and another thing is, hear me out. That river with the club, right? That we're talking about, like, it's a river, right? And there's like a little mountain, like not even a mountain, like a little hill that's like 50 feet away. You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
And they have like literally 50 speakers, but the river's right here. Like the thing goes down like this, right? Whatever. And everybody's drinking on the side. You know, everybody got the little rock. Everybody got the little table set up, and that music is thumping.
I can believe it.
But there's no time, dude. He stops when there's nobody in the river. I'm like, okay, I think it's time to go. You know, and he does it again the week after that. And it goes on. It's been going on for like 20, 30, 40 years. Yeah. You know? But to get to that river, just want to keep you something. It's like a 30 to 45. You can't bring a car there. A car would not make it there. Uh-huh. It has to be a pickup, a dirt bike, or something that got to be off-road, right? Long story short, dude, Rashard, there's like little, before getting to that club, right, the river, there's like other smaller rivers, right, that if you put your bike in it, right, because it's a little deep, if you put your bike in it, and I'm going to send you the video, if you put your bike in
absolutely, send me the video, I'll put it to the
link. I'm going to send you the video, and you have to put the video after this. You can, I don't know,
it'll be in the description of this video. Dude, send it to me.
This is I got you. So if you put your bike, if you cross that little small tiny river to get to the main spot, your bike might get like your bike might be sunk underwater, right? Mm-hmm. So you know what these Dominicans did? They built a bridge.
Of course.
No, but not also that. They built a bridge, handmade, and we're talking about like this is like a 20-foot, like, you know what I'm saying, like 20 feet. They build a bridge, and on top and in front of the bridge, right, they have a little stick right here, little gate. And you can give them $3, you can give them whatever you want, but you got to give them something if you don't want your bike to be flooded underwater. And once you give them, like, 20 pesos, 30, whatever you want to give them, you pop that thing open, you're good to go. But you know what the crazy part is? That on the way back, you got to pay again. Once you see the video, you'll be like, there's no way. Dominicans will make money. They will make money out of it. They will make something out of nothing. And that's...
Well, I hope that through everyone who's watching this is that when they go to Dominican Republic now, that they're not just constrained to the resorts, is that they actually go out there and experience Dominican culture, because it sounds amazing.
No, it's too much, man. It's too much. Like me as a Dominican, man, I still have not experienced not even like 50% of my country, dude. Like I'm telling you, like it's too much. Like I remember one time I went to like a waterfall, and I see this water. Y'all kid you not? I see this waterfall, right? My uncle took me, and he was like, "Yo, we gotta go. Like, there's a cave in there." I'm like, "There's a cave? What do you mean? Like, what's going on?" But once you the waterfall, whatever. Once you go through the water, dude, everybody's there, playing domino. I'm like, what is this? Under a cave. You know what I'm saying? And
listen, if you want to play cave dominoes, Dominican Republic that's where you gotta go.
I kid you not. But when you cross that, when you go underwater, like when you go into the cave, make sure your pants are very buckled, because if not, that pressure of that water is gonna drop.
Yeah, man. Listen, what I've really learned from you is that there is so much out there to experience. So much out there to experience. I think a lot of people need to experience that for sure. If any of the listeners to this podcast are going to go to the Dominican Republic, obviously you need to go to Bani.
Absolutely, Bani. Oh my God, I feel like top 5.
Tell them Victor Sanchez. And if they don't know who Victor Sanchez is, just say VicSan.
VicSan. The one and only VicSan.
Dude, thank you for coming on today, man. Like I now realize what time it is. This is a late night podcast, and I know you can continue going forever.
Oh my God. Like we're only like 10%.
We're 10% in. So there will be a follow-up podcast to this. where we get to finish up talking about the Dominican Republic. Dude, at this time, anything you want to plug, man? Anything you want to let the people know that you're up to?
I just want to say is everybody just stay safe, take care. You know what I'm trying to say? Never settle for less, because there's way more out there than what you think. I'm still in my 20s, and I'm still very curious to see what the world looks like. And mind you, this is just Dominican Republic we're talking about, but we don't know what else there is in the Caribbean.
Caribbean.
We're all adults, but
adults.
Adults. No, but all jokes aside and everything, and just be very curious. And before you settle for anything in the world, make sure that you have visited a lot of places in the world. Make sure you have a lot of stories to tell.
Where can the people find you, VicSan?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram, which is The Real VicSan, because there's no other one. The Real VicSan. That's my Instagram. I also have a Facebook, which you could call me on. You could find me there on Vic Lavish.
Okay.
Those are my two networks that I'm working with right now.
All right. Well, I hope everyone that's listening joins up and gets involved in that, man.
Oh yeah. I have more stories there. You guys can ask me any question. I would love to give you guys advice. I would love to help you guys explore.
This is only podcast 1 about Dominican culture. I can't wait until we do more into it.
I think I gotta go take another trip and tell you. And be like, yo, listen, this time I actually went to the NorthSide. I saw everything.
I'm happy about it, man. Like, people got great stories about the Dominican Republic and understanding what it's like. Like, we talked baseball, we talked language, we talked culture, we talked everything. Yeah. So I can't wait until we come back and talk about the Dominican Republic some more. But that's not all you have to offer. But until next time, thank you for coming in, man. I want to keep on going, but I'm pretty sure we've been doing this for about an hour and a half. Yeah. And my cousin who watches this podcast has already told me that it goes too long. So when he listens to this episode, he'll know exactly that I'm talking about him. Vic, thank you for coming, man. Thank you for being a part of this. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, brother.
Yo, peace, man.
Hey, cheers.
Absolutely. Cheers.
How we doing, brother?
Everybody stay safe out there. If this gets posted and the protests are still happening, stay safe, do what you need to do, and be peaceful and out there. I know it's tough.
Big S.
Big S.